Hi guys, hope you're well.
Not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. I'm going to start with you actually, Patrick. The character of Dominic Morgan manages to feel so unlike anything we've seen you do before, and yet at the same time, it almost feels tailor-made for you. Really taps into your sensibilities as an actor. I just wondered if that's something now that maybe comes with experience that you can identify too. Do you read a script now and think, right, that one's perfect for me, or is that something you discover along the way?
No, as soon as I started reading the script and I received the pilot with the first episode, and I really found it so compelling. I kept going, where's this going to end up? How's this going to end? And I found that really intriguing. And also the perspective from the European perspective of the crash, I felt really interesting. And I wanted to play a character like this. I was looking for something like this, and certainly looking for this genre. So it was, when I read it, I was like, this is perfect. I want to do this.
Yeah. I guess one of the downsides to playing a character like this, though, is that you have to wear a suit all the time.
Yeah, but the fun part was working with the tailors and being in Italy when that was happening. So that in itself was its own separate journey.
Yeah. And Malachi, I was wondering, because of course Dominic Morgan, the American CEO of NYL, is a kind of well-documented character in this world, but you play a really integral part, don't you, to this story? Can you tell me how Oliver fits into this murky world?
Yeah, I mean, I think Oliver is like the audience's kind of bird's eye view into this world, you know, for the layman person who doesn't understand finance. I feel like Oliver basically takes you on that journey. And he is someone who outside of the world, he grew up on a council estate. He's just a regular student studying at uni, who gets a foot in to this world, not necessarily the front door. He comes through the back door. And yeah, we go on this incredible journey, kind of exposing what success looks like and what actually may be necessary in order to get there.
Yeah, because Malachi, I saw you mention when you were working on Roots, and in particular one scene that you did, it really traumatized you. And I wondered if you've changed your methods as an actor since then, as a means of kind of protecting yourself. Because it sounds like when you really go into a project, you really go in and you give everything you have to a role. But after an experience like that, do you now approach roles like Oliver with a little more caution or disconnect?
No, not for sure. I think with Roots and with any project, I think it's the least I owe to it to give myself to that project, you know, as much as is reasonably safe to do so. But it was refreshing with Devils to be able to play a character where thankfully I don't have to go to those extremes in terms of emotionally, because a lot of the roles I end up doing are that. So this was nice just to be able to have a bit more fun.
Yeah. Patrick, I read they changed the name to Dominic, because in the book it's Derek, which obviously is the same name as your character in Grey's Anatomy. Was that your decision, or was that on your request, or was that something that was above your kind of station?
No, I actually requested that to change it so there wasn't that distraction.
Yeah, because I mean, the Devils is one word you'd use to describe some of these characters. I mean, as a rule of thumb for you, Patrick, do you have to like the characters you play in order to portray them?
No, you have to understand their motivation, I think, and then it's fun. It's fun to kind of play, try to justify that and find something that can ground you in the reality of it.
Yeah. Did you do much research, Patrick, into the financial world? Because it's unbelievable, isn't it? I thought I knew pressure, kind of having to submit an article to a deadline, but these offices in trading and investment banking, they're chaotic. There's just so much at stake, isn't there?
There's so much at stake and it never stops. That's the thing I never quite realized until this project, is that it's 24/7. They can never take a break. And you understand why there's burnout at a certain point in their career. So that was fascinating to me. And I spent a lot of time with Guido, which was like spending time with a professor of economics and understanding the world economy, understanding what was happening in Italy, what was happening in England, and then also in Europe and then in America. So that in itself, I thought, was just on a personal level. I learned so much from him and who he is as a man, his generosity, his empathy, and he really gets it. He understands the important values in life. And I think this is a cautionary tale that he wanted to share. And he has a deep belief and hope that, Italy can turn around economically, and Europe as well,
Yeah, Malachi, was it quite nice for you as the character as an outsider to this financial world? You didn't need to worry yourself too much with understanding the way kind of the financial world is, because I guess if your character doesn't know, then you don't need to know.
Yeah, it was a weird one because as much as he was naive to a lot about that world, he was very intelligent, and he's a hacker, and I think he was aspiring to have a career in that world. So I don't think he was completely out of the know. So I did find myself trying to cram a lot of information so that he would, when he does go into that environment, he's not, on the back foot with it. But yeah, it was definitely a relief not to have it all completely together,
Yeah. Yeah, and Patrick, because I was wondering too, because I got sent the episodes this week, but I've only watched 2 because I'm one of those people that really like to take their time with TV series. I'm not a binger, I generally don't binge watch. How do you consume your TV? If a huge big series like Devils or something was to drop, are you someone that tries to complete it over a weekend, or do you like to take your time and maybe watch an episode or 2 a week?
Yeah, I mean, I like to watch it when I want to watch it. I certainly like that. I don't go boom, 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 because I really like to take time and process what I just watched. And I just finished the Queen's Gambit, which was something that I found inspiring and infuriating at the same time. And a lot of the images, a lot of the dynamics stayed with me, and that was fun to let that affect me, and why did it affect me, and then to try to get underneath, okay, what is it that is making me feel this way? So I think you're right. I think it's good to take your time with it.
Yeah. Malachi, I was going to ask you, because I interviewed you years ago, I think for Offender. I think it was 2012. Sorry, my dog's jumping up. A long time ago, almost a decade now. And I've always really enjoyed your work, but it feels like from where I'm standing, off the back of working with Steve McQueen and Mangrove and now with Devils, it feels like you're having a really good spell, some really great characters. Is that something you're feeling too at the moment?
Yeah, I am. And I'm very grateful for it. And I think, I've always tried to make interesting choices and not just kind of take everything that's thrown at me. I don't think I've always made the best choices, but I'm glad for the kind of varied roles that I've been able to play, for sure. So I hope to continue that.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've probably spoken about it before, but how was it working so closely with someone like Steve McQueen?
I'm glad you asked that question. I was going to ask that too. Yeah, what's it like working with him? How does he approach it, Malachi?
Oh man, that guy is an artist. He's terrifying in the best possible way. In a way that just because it's like it's both him being terrifying and also him creating an environment that is completely safe as an artist to express. And it's like, I think for me, like the best directors I've worked with make you feel like they're not telling you to do anything at all. And he just had this way of creating an environment that was like very specifically his vision, but making you feel like it was your own. And he just gets right in there with you. He's not behind a desk, watching the money. Like, he's in it. He's stuck in. Like, I remember this scene that we did where there's a raid, the police raid on a room, and everything gets trashed. And he comes in and he puts everything back in exactly the same place it was, because he's that into it. So yeah, it was a joy to work with him, for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, I did. Well, it's a joy to watch his shows. I know that much.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I mean, Lovers Rock. Have you guys did you see Lovers Rock? Yeah, as well. That's incredible, that one. But Patrick, I was going to ask, I mean, obviously it's quite recent news that you are confirmed to be part of Disenchanted, working back with Amy Adams again on that. Are you quite excited to be back in that character, and any ideas of, do you know when it might begin?
Yeah, we're to begin in the spring in Ireland. I was on a call yesterday. I think it was yesterday, where we went over the script, and it's exciting to get that project started. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Cool. I mean, a very final question before I go is, obviously Devils is, as I said, I've not seen all of it, but you can tell it's something that just has the potential, the scope in characters and storylines to keep going for a number of years. Is that something that you guys would be potentially interested in? Have those discussions taken place yet?
I mean, I would stay on. I'm excited about starting season 2 here in about a month or so. I'm looking forward to that. I like the direction year 2 is going. So, and it's always a pleasure to be in Rome, and to work with everybody. I really enjoyed the ensemble, and being there with everybody was really, really a special experience for me. So I look forward to it. If it continues past season 2 and to 3, I'm open to that.
Yeah, but I was going to ask, just following on from that, Patrick, when you sign up to a project like this, do you have to think about it in those terms, potentially as something, because some TV series, you know, they can go on 10 or 15 years. So when you sign on to a character like this, do you have to do it with a little voice at the back of your head going, just bear in mind, this could be the long haul?
Well, with this, it was just, I don't think we were really planning on doing a second season. And then I think because the success that we had in England and around Europe, and hopefully we have a good success in London as well, that it can continue. But no, this was just sort of 10 episodes and we were done. And I like that. I like a limited series. I mean, 24, 26 episodes a year is exhausting. And it's really hard for the writers, I think, to come up with stories.
Yeah, it's even harder to binge watch when there's 24 episodes.
That's too much.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And sorry for the look, I was distracted. My dog was trying to bite my hand when I was talking.
What kind of dog do you have?
Yeah, I've got a Labradoodle, and I'm doing
fantastic.
Different room, and she's getting very excited. But anyway, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck with the release of the series.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey